welcome to Beneath the Surface. I'm your host, NYOIL, and we joined today by hip-hop impresario, a true hip-hopper from way back, and a pioneer, entrepreneur in the business now, CEO of Violator, Lighty. Thanks for being here, bro. Appreciate you being here, man. Thanks for giving us your time today. So let's go back then from a cat that's carrying crates with red alert. A lot of cats is carrying something enough for the next cat trying to get their foot in the door. What are these cats missing? Were they missing that you wasn't missing when you was that cat?
I was fortunate enough to grow up around the red alerts and the scout alarm, so I had a lot of help, but the one thing that I can say that I was persistent. You know, I was persistent to learn the music, to learn the business, to read the contracts, to find different ways and avenues to get my musical expression heard, you know.
So that I've done so much, why does it seem like there's such a, it seems like there's a real disconnect from hip-hoppers and rap fans and, you know.
I think the disconnect that comes into play today is that people don't accept that hip-hop became a business. And once it became and shifted to a multi-billion-dollar business, it wasn't that the culture changed, it was just the way that we were handled within the culture changed. You know, now we had to be more business-like. Now we had to think more strategic. We had to start thinking, we were always thinking outside the box. We had to think outside the box, but within the box of the corporate society. We couldn't be renegade all day, every day. You know, because renegade would have kept us as a nice niche business like jazz music.
That's heavy. That's heavy. Then, with that being said, let's shift that then to conscious hip hoppers. What aren't they seeing? Because clearly they have something to say, and clearly they have a legitimate point to some degree, concerned with the image of African Americans in mainstream media, but they're unable to get that image across. Is it because they don't see the bigger picture in terms of the business paradigm?
Who do you think is speaking that voice? Give me 2 or 3 examples of artists you feel speaking that aren't getting.
Well, okay, let's look at, I'm going to remove myself from the discussion, only because it'd be self-serving if I spoke on myself. Let's look at Jasiri X, Brother Ali, Uno the Prophet. You could look at even the Top Phoenix, or I mean, I can run about 89. There's a hip hop database of about 89 different artists that do conscious hip hop.
I just wanted to make sure we weren't talking about, you know, MIA. Because why not? She's just as radical and, you know, prolific and conscious, you know, but she made records that did a tightrope balance. She's doing what Public Enemy did. You know, they said we're gonna teach, but if we don't teach and make them dance, they're not gonna listen. So we gotta find that balance. And I think that's what most of those acts are missing. And then, especially in this day and age of brand extensions and everything that reflects back to the mighty dollar, they're not thinking, well, how do I generate interest, money, and get my message across without deeming myself a sellout? Well, there's no such thing as a sellout. If you're getting your message across and you can use Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Gator, or whoever to help you get your message across and help them sell their product, and you're making that message be heard by tens of millions of more people, then you're reaching your goal. How are you selling out? Because you're helping another product move and you're reaching your goal. There has to be a fine balance.
So you mean in the sense of branding? They're not selling out their branding if they develop their branding, but but if you're talking from a conscious perspective, I think that they would regard the sellout as representing the black image in a derogatory.
Nobody said they had to then represent the black image in a derogatory way. You know, the problem that I've personally had is that once we as a culture start to see one of us move forward, we're ready to pull them back. Instead of trying to push them over the wall and hope that he puts his hand down and pulls the rest of us over the wall.
You think that's generally it, or you think maybe sometimes
generally it's we have the crab in the barrel?
I think I think that's true. I don't deny that, but I think there is also a portion of it that has something to do with cats feeling like, you know, we've seen a couple get over the wall and
they didn't look back and they kept running. Yeah, that's true.